Stay with us. More great-looking street rods and products for your street rod when we come back. Welcome back to Street Rodder, coming to you today from Indianapolis, Indiana, and you can tell by looking around, a lot of nice-looking vehicles here. Take, for instance, this 1945 Chevy truck. Now, believe me, when this rolled off the assembly line in 1945, it had one purpose, and that was to work. You can tell by looking at that back bed back there, she could carry a lot of cargo, but very little remains from 1945. You can tell by the stance, probably has air ride suspension. The power plant up front, they didn't make a 350 small block in 1945. And coming around the front on the fenders, the headlights that slope back so nicely, those are probably Mercedes. We'll get the real answer from that from the builder, Bill Phelan. So what are they?
They are 2002 Mercedes headlights.
I want to know, first of all, where did you find this truck?
Well, it was sitting out in the field. It was just a bare cab and a frame and some old rusty fenders.
Well, you had your work cut out for you, didn't you?
Yeah, we had quite a bit to do.
Take me on a tour. What'd you do first?
Oh boy, first of all, we had to take the cab completely apart, and that was quite a chore in itself. You had to heat each screw the way these things are put together, and then we sent it all in and had everything sandblasted and started from there, and then we just started basically building the truck from there.
Interior looks real comfy, and I notice on the dash you pretty much kept the standard look there.
We kept the standard look, but it's hard to tell. We moved the gauge assembly over 4 inches to the left, glove box 4 inches to the right, and then we put a flush mount CD in the dash, and it fits pretty nicely that way. And then we used a center air conditioning duct from a 71 Chevy truck. It fits the contour of the dash perfectly.
What was the biggest problem on this truck?
Wow, the biggest problem. Actually, it was the cab. Getting the cab to where it looked like something that we could start with. It was pretty beat up. And then we went into the fenders and that type of thing, and we went through probably about 3 or 4 sets of fenders before we came up with a couple that were good enough that we could work the metal back out and make something decent out of it.
You built it, so who did you build it for?
We built it for Mr. Jim Ware of Springfield, Missouri.
And a job well done. I want to point out, too, up front you will notice it's not a stock radiator, it's a rebuilt one. And I'm sure there's some real good technology out there somewhere. Ted, what have you found?